Hello everyone, welcome back to the What If Civilization Started Over Again series. So the first episode actually got a lot more attention than I thought it would, and I've gotten some very good constructive criticism. So I'll be using that today, so taking in the terrain more and doing that a bit better. Also, I'm just going to quickly change the color of the blue team because that is slightly too close. They're going to do like that. There we go. Bang. Didn't mean to do that. So we're going to just change it to that color instead. So anyways, in the last episode, all of the countries expanded and some of them broke off from the dark blue country, which originally had all this coast. And so what's happened since then is these two countries here and a bit of that one, they are starting to realize that the journey they have to go from there to collect their water and bring it back home is not doing too great. So what happens? So that'll be looked at later on. But the first thing that happens is the dark blue country wants to expand because they know there's land here. So they want to expand to southern Somalia and all across this coast. Don't know all the countries here, but that's what they're planning to do. They start off with the southern Somalia bit first. So they push down like just really easily because there's no one stopping them. And they stop around about there. And they just capture all of this. There we go. So they take all of that, but because that is kind of far from the capital, I mean, it's apart from this bit, which is quite far, all of their funding is going this way, so all of their money, they're trying to push towards there so that they can get better civilization. This is new. So what happens here is actually a group of people decide they do not want to live in this type of life where they expand, and they want to just be, like a wealthy trading hub, and it's very rich and all of that. So that is what they do. So this part is very rocky round about here. So it was very difficult to make the journey, so the funding is really difficult, and all of their funding is going this way. This bit of the country is going to break off into this area here, and this is their new country with their capital round about here-ish, I think, round about there. It's near, oh, what's it called? Mogadishu. And it is just under Ethiopia. Let me check. No, it is slightly farther south, I think. Yeah, it's like more down there, so let me just... It's more here, I think. So that is their capital right there. I might change that in the future or something. This color, I might change it just now, actually. Don't know if that worked. Anyways, so that happens. The light blue country asks, because their predicament is very bad, so they ask if they can get this tiny bit of coast, and the dark blue country says yes. So that is what happens here, and they'll go round about there. Bang. And now they have a tiny little exclave right there, and that's a very wealthy city, and they didn't want to lose it, but this land belongs to the light blue country. Now the pink country is a bit more difficult to do that because they also have an exclave there, but it's a bit more difficult. But they also ask to get the coast, whether it's from the dark red country, because the dark blue country definitely doesn't want them here, and the dark red country says absolutely not. And just like that, the pink country completely collapses due to the fact that they have no support from their actual country owner area. So now both of these dark red and dark blue countries want to take most of this land, so they both push in. The dark blue country cuts off this area and takes that too, and they then ready round about there, and a treaty is signed where they get this much land, and they also get that exclave area. Bang! And just like that, the pink country is gone, and the dark blue country, letting some of that in, decides to also ask for a tiny bit more here. Like that. So, now with this is what the world map currently looks like. Now the next thing that happens is the dark green country wants to, because they know there's more land out here, just like all the other countries now, they want to move out this way. So that is what they will be doing here. And they get heavy funding from this land down here, and they send most of their military around here to kind of deal with the people there. But this land around here is mostly flat around this, but around this area is quite heavily not foresty, but mountainous. So it's a bit hard to transport, but they can kind of slip around the coast here, I think, and that does the job for them. So they then push outwards until they have captured all this land. Ooh. There we go. So now the dark green country has expanded and all of their troops are up there. But uh-oh, there's going to be another breakaway. Because these two countries now have different goals. Because this part of the country wants, you know, they just want to have their boats and have their farms and all of that. But this part of the country wants to expand more. So the leader, first of all, their leader of their country, doesn't have a name right now. He gets kicked out, and parts of this country break off just like that. And this part of the country breaks off completely. And this bit of the country also breaks off into a different country. But these three countries are all really rivals, because they don't really like each other anymore. So now, with all of their army here, around these borders, they are threatening war with these two countries. But what's that? This beige country has about 1,000 soldiers lined up at their border versus the dark green countries, like 300 soldiers. So that is not good for the dark green country. Which this is finally when UEBS comes in. So the dark blue country obviously has let some of their soldiers go into the beige country, which actually one of our comments has given a name. And it is called Aloria. I hope that I pronounced that right. Aloria? I don't know. Aloria. I'm just going to call it Aloria for now. So I will quickly set up the battlefield in which they will be fighting on. So, let me bring my mic a bit closer because it's a bit loud. They are in Africa, just around Somaliland. I don't know if there's any other good maps. So these are the dark green country men that they now have with their swords. And over here is Aloria. The Alorian men over here, with their 1,000, and they charge to kill, is 1,000 to 300. So let's watch this battle commence. So with that, the beige country, I keep forgetting its name, Aloria, that's it. Aloria manages to completely destroy their entire army that's here. So they take all of this land right now, and with no troops, because all their troops are here, just the people in the streets try to stop them from pushing all the way to their capital. So they keep pushing up into northern Somalia and Ethiopia. They push up farther and try to go for their capital. But with their 1,000 men, they're stopped around about here. And the dark green country's leader has discussed a peace treaty with the Alorians. So the peace treaty looks something like this, and the Alorians accept it. No, it doesn't look like that, actually. They get more of the coast, I think. And the Alorians want to build up their navy. They also push a bit more down here before the dark blue country gets in there. So now the Alorians seem to be pretty... the country of Aloria is pretty large now. I mean, for just becoming a country. So, the next thing that happens is all of the countries want to expand now. So, we're going to start off with the dark blue country, since they were the first country ever existed. They expand a bit more here, and they now learn about the Alorians' victory, so they want to cut the Alorians off from the coast. So they push forward and forward and forward with their, because all of their research and development has gone over here to this place. It's not too far to just go there. So that is what they are doing. So they then eventually reach the coast and completely cut off the Alorians from expanding, apart from this bit of land here. Bang! Aloria is now fully encircled, and the dark blue country actually, the funding, which is now kind of strayed off and has gone here, this part of the country here is mostly just cities that can barely hold their own. So this part of the country actually kind of collapses. They don't form their own country, it just collapses here. And so the dark red country realizes that, and they take a bit of that country, but not too much because they don't have very much money either. And yeah. So now the gold country, they can't expand very much because they don't get very much money out of anyone, but they do push a bit more over here and a bit more here as well. They also hear word of the Alorians' victory, and finally they hear word of, because they're kind of cut off from the rest of the world at the moment. They aren't really recognized as a country because no one really knows about them apart from the dark red and the dark blue. All of these countries don't even know that this country exists. So they finally hear about this waterhole being found, because they already knew about this one, so they were trying to push a bit more south. So they kind of looked like that, hoping they would find more water there, but they never did. So they then push up, knowing that there's water there, and they see water. So they completely surround it. Bang. Let me just put the outline on that. So now the gold country has found this bit of land, and this is land, I don't know what I'm saying. So they completely surround this water, and finally their country can start thriving. So they then they leave their capital, so this is no longer their capital, and decide to make their new capital right here, right outside this one here. So now the gold country is looking pretty big as well, and all these countries seem to be expanding, apart from the dark red country. So dark red country wants to expand their coastline up here, so they also do that. So I'm just gonna... So they make a team, and not super close to the coast, but quite close. They kind of push up the coast, although they reach a large mountain range. I'm not too sure on the name of the mountain range, but they reach it. And thankfully, they have the boats from the green country, so they move their entire area up here. They make a landing over here. So now this is like an exclave. And they kind of move out a bit more, but it's mostly desert here, so they try and stay along the coastline, and they just keep moving up. They sort these borders a bit more. So yeah, that is what the country is looking like right now. This exclave area, and this is all mostly mountains apart from this bit here. There's a bit here. And there's also mountains down here. So that's why this area is mostly like is not too funded very much, because there's so many mountains, and there's lots of mountains over here as well by this area. And apart from this bit here, there's not too many mountains in this area. But yeah, that is what the land is looking like right now. So yeah, it has changed, and I'm gonna call it Lilac, Violet. I'll just call it Violet. This Violet country is also expanding up north, and this light green country is also wanting to expand, so they do the same. So far, all the countries have been expanding. And then, but obviously the light green country is a lot larger, and they have started to realize that if they use their iron and they start digging, they can find oil and gold and more minerals than just iron. So they start mining this lime country. And they tell the dark green country, it's like, oh, did you know you could do this? Well, yeah, we can and you can't. And they realize that literally all of the countries can do that. So the dark green country, hating the lime country, decides to tell every country about digging down further to get better stuff. So all of the countries start doing the same thing. The lime country and the dark green country are really mad at each other. So they start fighting with their minds. As in, they're like, instead of actually making the people fight, they start just saying, oh, this is ours now. No, this is ours now. So the borders change, and I'm going to show that change right now. So the lime country takes this little area here, and the dark green country takes this bit here, which is actually a very populated city, and I've now just realized these two countries don't have a capital, so I'm going to place them. So the first capital is over here by the coast there. Second capital is there. They don't look the exact same. Yep, capital there, and their capital is here. So those are the capitals of the world. Now all the countries have capitals. So their capitals are quite far out. So this is the new change. So now I'm gonna do the trade routes. I've not seen any countries, or not countries, comments about the trade routes, but I'm gonna continue doing that, I think. So, yeah, 3, sure. So the trade route in the last video, if I can find it, fly. Here it is. Yeah, so it looked like that's way too big. We're gonna do 2. There we go. Is that too big? No, it's not. So it looked like this. It went there, and then it goes down. But because they lost contact to there, and now it goes out there. It also goes out here. Then it goes around here. Around here. And now, with their new area, goes there, down. Whoops. So it comes out here, there, bang, there. It goes across this unexplored land. Well, it's not unexplored, it's unclaimed, and it goes down here, around there, up, and there. There's also a trade route here that goes there, and up to there, and there, like that. And they're trying to make a sea trade route. Wait, actually, I'm gonna do that in a different color. Sea trade routes will be a dark gray. That'll go there, and just to the coast there. So that is what the current trade routes are looking like. Anyways, this is episode 2. I hope you enjoyed. There was one battle, and in the future there will be lots of more and lots of episodes. And as per usual, the last thing that'll happen, tensions are rising between the lime and the dark green countries. The dark red country has sent some soldiers into the light blue country, which is a puppet state of the dark blue country. So the dark blue country is completely angry at the dark red country, so they are mad. They're mad. These two guys are kind of mad at each other. This guy, he's kind of just there. He doesn't really matter. This area is, because the trade route hasn't been fully connected yet, they're not getting very much funding to keep going with their exploration, so they're starting to kind of talk about forming a new country, which will be here. And the gold country is slightly mad at the dark red country for only now telling them about the water. So the dark red country, it's looking pretty bad for them, and the dark green country, it's also looking pretty bad for them, with the violet country also kind of not liking, like they dislike them kind of, but they're not ready to go to war with people. And I'll tell you the numbers of troops. So this country, after their war, has about 800 people that are willing to fight. And this country here, with all of their troops up here, have about 3,000 just around there, like lined there, but they sent 600 down round all the way there. Well, they sent 1,000, but only 600 remained there. The dark red country has about 18,000 troops. Some of them are there, most of them are trying to go up there, and some of them are lined up here and here. Dark Blue Country has 14,000 soldiers, and most of them are around just this border here. And there's about 2,000 about there. The Gold Country has 700 troops, and they're all there because they don't really want to fight, but they have to in case. They have to keep troops just in case. The Lime Country has about 2,900 compared to this country's 3,000, and the Violet area has 300 soldiers because they don't really need very many soldiers. But that is what the world map is looking like right now. They haven't expanded too much, and round about now they've explored. Well, they've found gold, iron, bronze, and a bunch more ores, which they can trade with. So that is what is happening in the world. I hope you guys enjoyed. This might be a shorter episode, I don't know. It might be. I think this is going to be the same length, around about 20 minutes. But that is all. Thank you guys for watching. Oh yeah, and I'm going to do one of those. Let me just save that there. So, what they know about. I'm going to do one of those. So this, everything outside of this, they don't know about. So that and that, they don't know. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in the next episode of Civilization Started Over Again. Goodbye.